Hold up, wait a minute. Don't change the channel. Don't click off this video. It's actually still me, Jim Merle, in spite of the fact that I realize I look much more dignified, perhaps much more intelligent with my brand new glasses on. But actually, that is the point of today's discussion, as today we're going to be sitting down to discuss the need for involving an ophthalmologist or an eye doctor in our post-transplant care. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome to Transplant Helper today. My name is still Jim Merle. In spite of my new look with these new glasses, I'm still the same guy. But don't be confused, I'm still not a medical doctor. So basically, everything I talk to you about today, I don't really know what I'm talking about, other than I have been there and I'm currently doing that. Now, most likely at some point during your transplant evaluation, pre-transplant, it was probably suggested to you that after transplant, within the first year of time, that you do not go to the eye doctor. Now, why in the world would they ever tell you that? Well, basically, they understand that more times than not, post-transplant, there can be some major vision changes after your transplant occurs. And that basically takes place mainly because of your medications, especially the higher doses of that corticosteroid prednisone that majority of us are on after transplant, as well as some of those other drugs like tacrolimus, Surimus, Prograf, several other versions of our anti-rejection / immunosuppressant drugs can cause some vision changes. So the suggestion that oftentimes I hear doctors giving to their patients is don't waste your time going to the eye doctor for the first year. And I absolutely agree with that. I can tell you my experience, it may be very different than yours, but my experience is that in my life, I've experienced no problem with my vision. As a matter of fact, in spite of the fact that all of my family wears glasses and or contacts, I've never had to do that. I've always been told that I have eagle eyes and near perfect vision. I could pretty much see anything until the day of transplant came. And it's at that point when those drugs started coming in, those medications started piling on, I got to where I couldn't see. Things were fuzzy, things were blurry. I was seeing floaters, dizzy spells, you name it, a double vision. All of that became a problem. And so like it was suggested to me post-transplant by my transplant team, I did not seek the attention of an ophthalmologist or an eye doctor during that first year of time. But as times grew on and as some of those medications, especially the prednisone, came down and eventually came completely off of me, by the time I got to the second or third year, as I was still experiencing some problems, I began to wonder if I needed to go now and see the eye doctor. So I did. About a year and a half or so ago, I finally went out. I got me an eye doctor appointment. I went in to see them. They basically looked at my eyes, told me there was some minor problems there, but really nothing to be concerned with. They treated me for a dry eye, gave me a pair of glasses, and sent me on my way. Well, basically, that was a total waste of money. I spent about $400 on a pair of glasses, as well as with the whole checkup thing, and didn't get any results. As a matter of fact, the glasses that I was wearing, which happened to be the same frames, didn't do anything for me, so they spent most of their time thrown in my nightstand drawer, and I didn't even wear them because I didn't see any difference. Now, back up to about 2.5 weeks ago or so, I finally broke down after some other problems that were developing, especially that double vision, and was sent from my neurologist over to an optical neurologist, which is a fancy eye doctor, really. I went to see him, and I've already had a video on that. I can link it up here. You can see how excited I was when I found out what my problem was. And it basically was that I had an eye that was kind of kicked out to the right, and they suggested that I get a pair of glasses made with a prism in the right side, which I did. I ordered these glasses about 2 weeks ago. They came in today. But in addition to that, while they were doing those checks, they discovered that I do have some slight vision loss at this point, at least as far as being able to read. So I get the glasses made. Fast forward, long story short, I can see great right now, provided I learned to use these bifocals. Yeah, I said it, and you may not can see it here, but these are bifocals. I don't know if you can see the line on camera or not, but these are bifocals, and so I'm learning some lessons the hard way really quickly. Number one, I don't like them. To begin with, I do not like them. And that's basically because I hadn't learned to use them yet. Things seem to be moving as I move my head up and down. If I look through the top, things look great at a distance. Obviously, I look through the bottom, things look great up close. But if I look through the middle, they look terrible all the way around. That's all coming down to me, and that's what I've got to deal with. Now, by the way, as a side note, if you've got any suggestions on how a person can get used to using bifocals, I'm certainly the guy that needs to hear it. Go ahead and comment below. The whole Transplant Helper community might want to learn about that too. So share your knowledge. That's what I'm asking you to do. But backing up, here's the discussion. Do we need to be going to an eye doctor post-transplant? The answer to that is absolutely yes. Like I suggested earlier, you might not waste your money for the first year, but after that first year, we do need to continue to go and see an eye doctor. As a matter of fact, they may have given you a post-transplant listing of certain testing, certain evaluations you need to continue to do. And generally on that, surprisingly enough, are things like dental exams as well as eye exams on an annual basis. And they're doing that to help you out. They're doing that because they know there may be some vision changes. Now, aside from it being based on our medications, to an extent, and in a smaller sense, it can also be because of the pressure changes, especially if you're a heart and or lung patient. There may be a lot of changes going on as far as your pressures in your bloodstream. Blood pressures, particularly one of them, but especially the pressures around the heart and all. Of course, that all pumps to the brain. Ultimately, it comes out to the optics or the eyes, and it can really affect you. So just get things checked out. That's my suggestion, and just make sure that you're getting the best care that you can. Again, if you have any suggestions concerning these bifocals, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. But my overall advice is, yeah, go see an eye doctor, do what they ask you to do, and you might find yourself, as I am, once I get used to these things, to be very blessed to finally be able to see. Thank you so much for joining me today on the program. If you've liked this program, give it a big thumbs up. If so, how about go ahead and share it out with your family or friends just to make them aware that these changes might come. Until next time, certainly stay stronger, friends.